Orcs are turned into a ram. We save people. We bring them to Edgeport. Yes? From the orc.
Yes, survived winter.
Winter is coming.
I mean, don't sound too enthusiastic, guys. Jesus Christ.
So,
A bit more like it. Jesus. As I have a funeral dirge playing in the background.
Okay, I rammed him with my horns, and then I stepped on his skull.
Smashy, smashy.
Is that
Okay.
better?
So, you guys went into the orc encampment. You rescued quite a few little individuals who then followed you on. Got a little bit of treasure while you're at it. And then from there, we entered the session, basically you guys heading towards the town of Edgeport, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll pick off at the end of last session. You see just in the horizon what looks to be the small and quaint little town of Edgeport, sort of nestled against the coast. You can see sort of a number of ships in dock and sort of the perimeter wall of the town itself, with various merchants coming and going across the main road in and out. Probably estimate, just sort of gauging your eyes across the various buildings and whatnot, this town is probably looking around a population of about 500. So a little bit bigger than the Wildhaven that you were at previously. So you make your way down and traverse across the main road, heading towards the town. And as you sort of begin to approach, you see a handful of guards sort of nestled next to the main gate, just sort of give you an eye over as you approach. You have a few other sort of merchants coming and going across the road that sort of give you a curious eye as you make your way. But none of them really seem to give you much hassle or really make much conversation on your journey. As you approach towards the main gate, the town guard beckon you up and ask you to slow down. One of the group, there's probably about, say, 5 or 6 guards at this point, sort of makes his way over to you and sort of introduces himself. Good day, sirs, madam, and who might you be? And what is your business in this town?
We happened to rescue these unfortunate... Wait, the guy... the rescuees are, like, with us, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless you wanted to just leave them in the middle of the
No,
boat.
no. Yeah, we happened to rescue these unfortunate souls in the middle of the forest. They were captured by a band of orcs.
Orcs, you say? So it gives a curious eye over to the other guards as you say that, as you give mentions.
Oh, yes, I'm an orc. That's right. Yeah. Yes. Used to be a town guard myself, and I like proudly brandish my old guard's medallion.
Make a persuasion check, please. You.
Yeah.
Prime.
Nice, you're off to a good start.
That's it. That's good. I mean, even when I'm telling the truth, I fail.
They sort of give a look over you all and says, "We'll have our eye on you, orc." At which point the guard sort of turns to the rest of you and says, "Anything this guy does will be on your heads."
Oh. I shrug my shoulders and just I know how humans are. I don't say that. I just that's what my shrug means.
Prime,
What's up, Benjamin?
I'll ask the gods where I can deliver him bounties.
Okay. So he sort of looks up at you as you give mention to this and says, I mean, that's like normal, Sindris, anyway, so. I kid. He gives a little look over to you, Benjamin, and says, if you want to see the town master, he will be the best one to sort you out. At which point he sort of points on off, and you can kind of make out like a sort of a spire of a building. And it looks like it is... Wow, that's useless. Why is it fucking so... Okay, it's this building over here.
That's affirmative.
Next to the sort of marketplace.
Can you change the size?
I don't know. It's something very strange. Well, yeah, it's that one there. One in pink. So, yeah, he says the town master will sort you out, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, is there any other business that we can give you a hand with, or are you just gonna lollygag around here?
Nope. I'm gonna head to the town master.
Okay.
We'll see if there's anything we can help with. Disturbances around town and stuff.
As you sort of move on off, one of the guards just sort of turns around and says, there's always business to be done in these parts.
Good. I look at the normies and I ask them, so where do you guys want to go? Do you need us to get you on your way?
So you sort of turn around to the various individuals that you helped rescue from the Orkin camp. They sort of hand a few little bits and pieces that they managed to sort of scavenge before they had to hurry off from the Orc encampment. And they sort of give you a small coin pouch to say, oh, I mean, it's all we can get given the situation, but please, this is a token of our gratitude for saving our lives.
Oh, it's not at all, but we'll take it. Thank you.
And he says, oh, thank you. But if you don't mind, we're going to head on our way. We thought you've brought us as far as you need to. We're now back in civilization, and we can get back with our families.
All right, you be careful.
At which point they begin sort of scattering off. A few sort of take down the main road heading towards the markets. A few sort of head into the back alley. Oh, pardon me. And sort of blend in with the remainder of the crowd. And with that, you find yourselves standing in the main gate of Edgeport. You sort of see people coming and going. It's quite a bustling atmosphere. And you can see heading straight down the main road is sort of like an open area with a market not too far away from. So, you're now inside Edgeport. What would you like to do?
We had we had the construct go sell stuff, right?
So you sort of see Benjamin sort of make his way towards the market, heading towards what looks to be the town master's residence.
Yeah. I'll just follow. We need to go there anyways.
Okay.
Introduce ourselves, I guess.
So you sort of make your way through the various bazaars and sort of rudimentary stalls that have been set up in the main alleyway. The main roadway. You can see various individuals just sort of lingering in the alleyways, and it seems like quite a vibrant atmosphere that you've got going on here. It's probably sort of mid-afternoon by this point. Quite a lot of trade seems to be. And you definitely get the impression there is all manner of sort of merchants that are set up here. You see sort of grain being sold, jewelry, weapons, food stuff, cattle. There's all manner of market stalls that have been set up here. And as you sort of head through the main roadway, you enter into this grand sort of market with a good 50 or so stalls set up here. No doubt everywhere you go, sort of, you get a lot of sort of curious looks in your direction. Nothing too threatening or hostile, but certainly you get the impression that you're being watched by a good number of people here.
As expected.
Of course. You don't exactly blend in, shall we say.
No.
Okay, it definitely helps sort of draw the ire away from yourself, Z, only for it to be then parked straight back onto you and perhaps Benjamin. So, you make your way through the crowds and whatnot. Most people sort of give you a wide berth, but a few people are quite a little bit more happier to sort of get closer and to give you a look over.
I just give them my most human smile.
A few sort of smile back. For the most part, the majority sort of once they know your attention's on them, they sort of scatter and hurry on off into. Nevertheless, you get through to the town master's residence without any. You see a number of guards sort of standing on duty out front. They sort of look on over to you, but the doors nevertheless seem open for people to come and go as they please. There's a couple of sort of large braziers either side of the door that provide a nice sort of atmospheric lighting, and a set of stone steps that lead up to the residence itself. The building is 2 stories tall and fairly fine stonework. If you would hazard a guess, probably dwarven in nature. Mm-hmm. They're mighty fine stone crafting dwarves. I presume you head on inside, or is there anything else that you want to do sort of out here before you?
I have no need.
No. I just casually salute the guards as I go into the tower.
They give you a look, and a couple of them seem to have their hands on their swords, just sort of watch. And you definitely get the impression like they're ready to throw down if shit. But they don't do anything for the time being. They just watch, see you slowly head on up the steps, give a curious eye over in your direction, and you disappear inside the building. Inside, you're greeted with quite a grandiose entrance hall. There seems to be like a sort of a ballroom staircase leading up into like a mezzanine area hanging over the entrance. You see a number of what look to be nobles sort of conversing with one another. A couple of guards posted here and there just to keep an eye on things. And as you sort of enter, just the conversation stops dead and everyone sort of turns towards you.
Hi.
Hi.
Did anyone fart?
You see a sort of a couple of guards nearby just sort of walk towards you and sort of says, can we help you?
Where can we deliver in bounties?
Bounties? And they sort of look to one another in a curious tone and says, what bounties do you speak of, out of interest?
Orcus.
Orcus? At which point they turn to you.
Not him.
Not me. I am actually a part of this group.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, who you want to see? Let me just check. I got the name written down here somewhere.
In my 800 pages.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so who you want to see is Orif. Orif Stonehammer. She is the captain of the guard here.
All right.
At which point they sort of point to one of the offices, sort of off from the main entrance hall, and you can see like a sort of a stone plaque tied to the door.
Aye, Captain.
Is it a male or female?
Apparently, woman.
That does not compute.
You what, mate?
I'll go to the office.
There's sort of like a small little torch hanging outside to give it a little bit of lighting. There doesn't seem to be many windows here. You definitely get the impression that, if needs be, this building could definitely function as sort of a stronghold in times of need. So it very much seems to be a building outfitted as sort of a miniature fortress, more so than a place of luxury. Even though the inside does seem quite regal. Okay, you sort of knock on the door, and after a brief pause, you hear from inside, "You know, what do you want?"
I have bounties to deliver.
Aye. You hear a chair sort of squeal across the floor, and then a set of heavy footsteps sort of approach the main door. The door opens, and you see standing before you a sort of a 4'8" quite butch female dwarf. Sort of hair tied in braids, sort of an auburney red almost tinge to it. Hazard a guess, you'd probably say somewhere in the regions of maybe early 50s, but definitely looking fairly decent for her. She sort of looks at you and says, "Bounties, you say?"
Yeah. What time of day is it?
It's probably mid-afternoon, so maybe 2, 3.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so bounties, you say? And who might you be?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Right. And I presume these are your servants?
Yeah.
You what?
They help collect them.
I see. And what bounties might we be talking about here? We've got quite a few.
I produced a bag of orc ears.
Okay, orcs. Well, why didn't you say? Now this I have time for. At which point she sort of about turns and heads back into her office, and she sort of shouts on over her shoulder, Come in. You enter on inside, and you definitely get the impression that this quarters is quite minimalistic. You see sort of a few sort of ceremonial bits of armor and weapons and whatnot being hung on the walls, but otherwise, really, it's just sort of like a central stone desk in the middle of this. Not exactly a cubicle, but it's quite snug in here, especially with the number of you that are now heading on inside. She sort of sits back behind the desk and sort of looks to you all with a fairly smug face. So, how many orcs are we talking here?
I didn't count actually, but I think about 8 or 9 pairs of orc ears from the last session.
You have my respect. We don't get too many individuals delivering on such a bounty like yourself. May I see?
Yeah, I produced the bag.
Okay, she sort of heads on through and sort of very quickly sort of brings each of the heads out and sort of slaps it on her. She says, Hey, so 9 orcs. Well, we currently have a bounty of 2 gold ahead, so I think a reward of 18 gold piece should suffice.
Good, yeah.
Begins counting some coin, shoving it into a small leather pouch and sort of tossing.
I catch it.
Okay. And she sort of says, well, if you need more work, you always know where to come. But if you don't mind, I've got a few things to take care of. So you don't, so see yourselves out when you can.
Where's the bounty board in town, actually?
There's one outside the residence, and you'll find a few more here and there across the market. That's where most people spend their time.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. I'll leave you to your own business.
He sort of nods at you and then goes back to proceeding to write on a palm.
You want me to close the door?
Please.
Close the door.
You sort of head on back out. And close the door, and you can just sort of hear her writing away and what. So, with your orcish bounty turned in, what would you all like to do?
Do we split the gold?
That's 3 gold and something in silver. 3 gold and silver is 30. 6 silver. 3 gold, 6 silver, everyone.
Okay.
Per person? Ooh.
So 3 gold and 7 silver?
6.
6 silver.
Don't cheat.
You're rich. Okay. Anything in particular that you're looking for, like just general purpose reagents, or maybe something to sort of give it that exotic spice? Okay. Fascinating. So, with that, you begin heading out into the main market area. Sort of heading on through the various stalls and whatnot that have been. So, can I get an investigation check from yourself, then? Mm-hmm. Nice. We're off to a great start today. Okay, so you begin heading on through the market stalls, seeing what you can find. It's proving a little bit difficult to find anything that sort of satisfies your urge to find like something a little bit more exotic for your brew. At the moment, you're sort of only finding basic foodstuffs and whatnot. You come across a curious establishment that looks to be a bakery at some point. And there seems to be sort of an elderly woman behind the sort of store and whatnot, and just sort of sees you walking about and says, do you need fresh bread? Finest bread in all of Edgeport. Alcoholic things. We've got flour, if that's what you... Special flour.
Special.
Or throw this in a brew, and you'll love it for the moment your lips taste the fresh ale that it can help produce. Okay. You sort of notice, just looking around and whatnot, that... What did I call the place? It is called... Sorry, 2 seconds.
It's probably...
The place is called Beatrice's Bakery. She sort of hands over 2 small little pouches of this strange flowery substance. And she says, no charge for this one. Believe me, put it in some ale and you'll be back for more within a second.
First one's for free.
Mm-hmm. Okay. At which point she speaks back Elvish to you and says, "I see you soon."
Returning as a crackhead.
In the meantime, so
yes.
the rest of you sort of see Zed just head on off into the crowds. Anything that you
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm gonna browse around the market, just walking around. I'm looking for something meaty to eat, and
Ooh, nice.
also I need to refill my light crossbow bolts.
Okay.
So I would love to buy some of those as well.
Okay. So you sort of have a little look through to see what you can find. Let's get an investigation check from yourself as well.
Mm-hmm. Investigation, we say. No. That's a 12.
Okay. So you sort of make your way through, and you're very quickly able to find yourself a pretty decent looking flex. He seems to have sort of lots of quivers of arrows, crossbow bolts, as well as a couple of sort of weapons neatly on display here. And sort of gives you a curious eye as you approach and sort of looking about his wares. He looks over to some of the guards who just kind of keep an eye of what's going on, and then he sort of turns to you and says, "Can I help?"
Is he human?
So you give him a quick look over, and he seems half elf.
All right. I. It's always hard with half elves. No, I'm gonna speak in common. Hello, good sir. Well, yeah. First, sorry for my appearance. I know I'm an orc. I'm friendly, I promise. You know,
I must admit, I haven't dealt with much of your kind, but your reputation is not for the best, shall we say?
No, I know. I grew up in a human city, so I know.
You look friendly enough, and well, what brings you? Do you like what you see?
Oh, thank you. Yes, actually, I was looking at your fine weaponry. I was actually looking for light crossbow bolts, but looking at what you have, looks really nice. Could you show me what you have? I'm looking for.
You're looking to deal some damage, are they? And he sort of brings out a few instruments. So he sort of brings out various sort of arrows, crossbow bolts. He brings out sort of like a heavy crossbow that he sort of parks directly in front. He says, "Do you prefer the bow, the crossbow, or something a little different?"
You know, I prefer like. I work with this currently, and I show you my battle axe.
Okay. So you prefer to be up close and personal, then?
Yes. My crossbow is mainly for, well, when situation demands.
Well, I don't deal much with the up close and personal, but I can put you in contact with someone that does, providing you've got the coin.
Yeah. But while I'm here, what kind of light crossbows do you have? I have this one. Your regular.
He sort of brings out a small light crossbow. It's a small one-handed weapon that you could use in a pinch. He says, "I got this. It was handed down in the part of the family, but it would work. One-handed, quick to draw, quick to fire. Can be a little bit of a bitch to reload sometimes, but it's usually a one and done type deal, and then you move on to your melee weapon.
How is it compared to my current one?
So what one do you
Would you
have
say?
currently?
I have a regular light crossbow.
Okay. So a hand crossbow is one-handed, so it's a D6, I believe. Then you got the normal crossbow, which I think are a D8, and these are a D10.
This one is a D8.
Okay, so he says, in that case, let's move up in the world. And he sort of brings out a regular sort of crossbow one, two-handed, and you can see a number of sort of arcane runes scrawn into its side.
Oh, is that a regular crossbow? This?
Much more than a regular crossbow, my friend. He sort of picks it up, and you begin him muttering some incantation. Sounds like it's in dwarf. And as it fires a bolt out into a nearby target, you see the bolt burst into flames and hit the target directly on. The target begins to sort of simmer and bursts into a small but controlled fire.
Wow.
We call it flame tongue.
What did he actually say in Dwarvish?
So it says, 2 seconds.
This is a ruse. I'm not a real merchant.
Yeah.
See what you did there. So he said, by the power of Gamesh, fire be with you.
Gamesh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is interesting.
And for the right price, it could be yours.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's what I'm looking for. Don't get me wrong, this is awesome, but I don't think it fits my fighting style really.
No offense taken. It'll be here if you change your mind. In the meantime, if you're looking for something a little bit more up and close, he sort of leans out from his stall when he sort of points sort of a couple rows, and you can see in the distance there's sort of like this plume of black smoke rising. And he says, what you want is the Mithril Arms, best blacksmiths in town.
That sounds great.
You want a big axe to decapitate someone with? That's where you go.
Do you think he has something as awesome as you do with this crossbow?
You got a lot of items coming and going, and I mean, don't get me wrong, this is pretty fucking awesome. But I know they've got some nice, sweet stuff of their own. Provided you got the coin to pay for it, of course.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll take this 20-pack of light crossbow bolts.
Okay, he hands it over for the standard market price.
Yeah, and I pay him.
Nice. He says, pleasure doing business with you. You're all right. What's your name, by the way?
It's my name is Yu.
Nice to meet you, Yu. And he says, name's Allah.
Allah?
Did I pronounce that right?
Allah.
Aelar.
Okay. Ayla, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's a pleasure to meet you. We might see each other again.
I hope so, Sue. So,
I head over to the Mithril Arms, or whatever it was called.
So, anyone else looking to do some shopping?
Yes.
What would you like to look out for then?
Well, I want someone to examine the great axe I got from our chieftain.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
-1.
Nice. You get lost.
What's the
Make your
matter with
way-
these rolls today?
You make your way through the marketplace, and before long, you find yourself in the middle of one of the back alleys, completely lost in all sense of direction. So,
Okay.
with
Do I
that,
try again, or
so some time goes by. As you make your way sort of across, you sort of make your way, like I say, rows away. You see a particular interesting establishment out of your peripheral vision. And there sort of seems to be like this swaying sign outside. And it's called the Scoundrel's Pipe.
The Scoundrel's Pipe?
Yeah, it looks to be an inn, but you sort of give it a look over, and given your background, you definitely get the impression it stands out.
Oh. I
You see a couple of individuals, sort of robed, just keeping an eye out the back, sort of leaning up against one of the walls, near to sort of like an entranceway to the cellar. They give you a look on over as sort of you peer on in their direction, but then quickly look off to the side.
I keep it in memory where it is, actually. Because yeah, it looks sketchy.
Yeah, your senses are outlaw senses are definitely tingling right. So,
right.
Sort of Z or Benjamin or Mella, anything that you want to particularly look around?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to see if they have any sort of weapon or armor that gives me bonus to my abilities, like extra wisdom or something like that. But I don't know if they have it in a place like this.
Well, you never know until you look.
Until you roll for it.
So
Okay,
it'll be an
investigation.
investigation check if you want to sort of have a little look around, see what you can find.
Yep. And the investigation is intelligence, so -1.
Nice.
9.
Okay. So you're looking, I imagine as a druid, you're looking for something more leather based than, say, metal. And...
Yes.
Okay.
I have studded leather armor on me, so if I find something that's similar or maybe magical or...
So you keep your eye out as you're sort of meandering through the markets and whatnot. Every now and then, you sort of see one of your party members off in the distance, sort of doing their own. You see sort of various bits and bobs here and there, but nothing really draws your attention in, so to speak. A couple of leather workers here and there, but they seem to be very much just sort of selling raw supplies rather than any sort of completed sets of armor or anything like that, unfortunately. So, VMAC, you find yourself in one of the back alleys, sort of completely lost in all sense of direction. Do you want to make another investigation check?
Yes.
This is how you get sore throats in alley. Want you, VMAC?
This is how I end up on the milk cardboard box.
Nice. Yeah, please do.
I don't like this city.
It's actually 4 ones in a row.
Okay. So, you start making your way through and whatnot. You start making your way through, and what you are noticing, strange enough, is a number of sort of missing, and a lot of them seem to be children. Sort of plastered on the sides of buildings, notice boards, and what. You still aren't able to find your way back into the main market, but you sort of trawl through many of the back streets of Edgeport, finding what you can here and finally you do manage to end up at what looks to be a tavern by the name of the Burning Fiddle.
Guess I don't like bards then.
Yeah.
Sounds like a brothel's name.
So, with that, you finally make your way over to the Mithril Arms, and you can see what looked to be a trio of dwarven brothers just sort of banging away at plate metal and various weapons that they've got neatly lined.
Well, hello there.
Sort of one of them turns to you, and he's got these big sort of blacksmithing goggles on, and his face is sort of covered with soot. And he's got he's wearing an apron covering most of his body. He sort of looks around to you and says, "Ah, hello there.
Aye.
And who might you be?"
I instantly start speaking Dwarvish.
We don't get many of your kind speaking the dwarven tongue.
Yes, I grew up in a, human city, but we had a lot of dwarfs there as well. So, this looks like a very fine establishment.
Why, thank you very much for saying so. We do take pride in our. Now, you look like a man who likes to decapitate people in half, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh, yes, that's one of my favorite pastimes.
I thought it might be. So, you're looking to do some damage, are we?
Yes. Well, right now I'm using this battle axe. I show him my axe.
Sort of gives it a look over and says, "Well, it's certainly certainly a worse wear, if you don't mind me."
Yes, it's been used.
Certainly looks like a load of crap, if you ask me.
Yes.
So you're in the business for looking for a replacement?
Yeah. I would like an upgrade that doesn't dull as quickly as this one. It's actually pretty tiring.
Sort of turns around and sort of shouts over, "Forward! We've got a new customer! Get out the axes!" You hear this reply, "Yeah, all right!" You see this other dwarf sort of stumble on forward with various sort of axes of different makes, just throws them out into the onto the counter. You see sort of like small little handheld throwing axes, all the way up to large two-handed great axes of various makes and models.
These look like real axes.
Aye, that they be. Definitely do some damage with one of these, shall we say. So, anything you like the looks of. You see, like I say, all manner of different weapons in front of you, from the smallest of axes to the largest.
Yeah, Well, I really do like um, the battle axe traditional style, double-edged, one-handed. That's anything you've got?
Sort of pulls up out of from the pile this one, not two-handed, one hand. It looks quite exquisitely made, for sure dwarven in design, but there's almost like a thunderbolt carved into it. And as you sort of touch the axe, you almost get a static shot, and your hair of your arms raises on it.
Whoa! Now that's a shocker.
Yeah, that's a beauty right there.
Oh, all right.
Call it Stormhammer.
Stormhammer?
Aye.
But it's an axe.
That we do, yeah.
Oh, it feels ecstatic.
Maybe an axe, but it hits like a fucking hammer.
Oh yeah.
As you sort of pick it up, you just feel this sort of this slight humming sensation pulsating through the wooden handle and the metal axe.
This game has too many sections.
I try it out, like swing it around a little bit, and I
Okay.
say, "Well, do you mind if I try it somewhere where it's safe to use it?" Because I guess I'm guessing what this is doing.
They sort of beckon you behind, and you can see almost like a small little test range that has been set up with a number of sort of small. So give it a whirl.
So I tricks it around a little bit, and I just get a feel for the balance of it, and then I give it one of my best thwacks at the test dummy's throat.
Okay. As you do, there's this god almighty boom, like a thunderstorm going that echoes out for 300 meters in every direction. And when you sort of strike on down, you just see the dummy basically explode, sending shards of wood everywhere.
That's awesome!
Yeah, it is.
Whoa! Wow, this is probably the best axe I've ever held.
You see a few of the dwarf, the three brothers, just sort of tap their hand on each other's shoulder as a job well. So you like what you see, eh?
Oh, I do indeed.
We'll also retcon it and say it's called Storm's Edge rather than Stormhammer.
Well, that's all right. Yeah. It's fun. It's funny with a misleading name though. Storm Edge is great. Oh.
So they begin to describe what it is. It's a +1 magical weapon, and let's wait 2 seconds. I have the notes here. Okay, so it is a +1 magical weapon, and as a bonus action, once a day you can activate its power. For the next minute, each first attack per round will deal an additional 1d6 thunder damage.
Whew. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure I can afford this gem, really.
Well, if you do fancy a change of mind at any time, you know where we're going.
Well, what would you price this one?
They sort of look to one another and think long and hard for a moment. So, yeah, you're giving us a mighty fine demonstration, so we don't mind giving you a little bit of a discount. Plus, you're an interesting individual, shall we? They look to one another and sort of you can hear them sort of whispering, and and they look to you and say, "For you, we'll do it for 150."
150. Yeah, that's a very good price. You know what? I'm not holding that amount right now, but I'll see what I can do, because this is great.
Thank you. Well, like I say, if you ever get a change of mind or come into possession of some coin, feel free to pay us another visit.
Oh, this will be the first place I will be heading. Pun intended.
Well, don't mind us. At which point they sort of just take the axe and put it neatly back in a display cabinet.
Well,
Says-
thank you
Yeah.
very much for letting me try it out.
Always a pleasure. Gives us a good name at the end of the day. The more people talking about our wares, the more publicity.
Oh yeah, I will be talking about this experience for. Yeah, right. Thank you so much, guys.
So will the
I'll
neighborhood
be back.
300
Which
meter
point?
range.
Yeah, you sort of leave the tent, and you can hear sort of the rhythmic banging of hammers on metal plate begin to start up once again. So, by this point, a good hour or so has passed of you sort of meandering around the markets and whatnot. What would you all like?
I'm
I-
just curious. I didn't
yeah.
get how much money we got from the pouch in the beginning.
So, from the merchants and whatnot that you rescued,
Yeah.
you sort of dig on through. It doesn't seem like much, but they seem to have amassed somewhere in the region of about 35 silver.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it is. Everybody gets 7 silver.
Oh yeah, in a party.
Almost there, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think 1 foot is 0.3 meters.
Look at this pyramid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You see sort of like a few guards on edge just looking around to one another. And as you sort of leave the tent, you do see a number of guards sort of head on inside to see what was going on.
Yeah, I actually speak to them as I head out. And I say that. Did you guys hear that? That was me. I tried one of their weapons.
They sort of looked at you, and then they looked at you and say, "What have we told you?" Nevertheless, they let you on your merry way. But you can definitely hear a heated conversation inside the tent. So, what would you guys like to do? Okay. So,
I still want to find my way.
okay. Zed, you begin to sort of find a nice quiet spot in which you can start sort of mixing your fresh new. You begin to sort of scatter in some of the flour sample that you were given. It does feel quite different from normal flour. It feels somewhat more clumped together, and it has a very strange texture to it that you don't you can't identify or put your finger on for the time being.
This is definitely cocaine.
Nevertheless, you sort of sprinkle it in and get to work mixing your fresh new brew. Can I get a is it brewer's supply, alcohol supplies? Yeah, can I get a check for that then, please? Okay. So, no. So you begin getting to work. It seems as though the journey has been long and hard for you, and you're not quite on your A game. You begin sort of sprinkling in a few bits and pieces and whatnot, but after an hour or two, the end results leave a dissatisfying taste in your mouth. Okay, very well.
I would actually want to, as soon as I'm done at the Mithrils, I want to go back to Orif. Actually, she was the head of the guard, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you make your way on back. At which point we cut to BMAC in the middle of an alley, still very much lost and confused. BMAC, make an investigation check, please.
Sure. No biggie. Okay, 13.
Okay. So, after running around in circles in what feels like hours, you finally make your way back into the main market and begin looking around again. What were you ideally trying to find?
A store that can help me identify the axe I got from Chief.
Okay. So, you make it inside, into the main market, and this one tent grabs your attention. It seems to be much larger and more grandiose than the rest of them. We're not talking like a tent here. It's still like a small little bizarre stall, but it definitely has that element of a certain je ne sais quoi, shall we say. And as you get on closer, you can see sort of this bluish tent which has lots of gold motifs woven into the side. You get this fresh smell of incense that captivates the nostrils. There seems to be no door, but there's a beaded curtain on it. Do you decide to go inside?
Yeah, that's just double checking, but I did feel something odd about the axe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, going.
Okay. You go on inside and it's deserted. There's no one in here whatsoever. The only thing that catches your eye is there seems to be a couple of brooms that are sweeping up the floor by themselves. But there are various items on shelves, display cabinets, and a counter at the far back, but with no one there.
Alright, I talk up and I ask, hello, is anyone here?
At which point, you see this flash of smoke erupt. And standing before you is a regal, sort of mid-30s gentleman with a tightly braided beard to his front and sort of hair tied around his back, sort of blackish. He sort of, welcome to Victor's Emporium. And who might you be, good sir?
Hi, Victor, I am VMAC.
Nice to meet you, VMAC. And what can I do for you?
First I would like to ask a price check, like how much it costs before he actually does it. But I would like him to examine the axe. See, so I feel that there's something magical about it, but I just cannot figure out what the hell it is.
Come into possession of a magical item, have we? Well, now that I can do. At which point he sort of clicks his fingers together and says, may I see?
Yes, I hand him the axe.
Okay. You hand over this sort of gnarly two-handed looking axe. He sort of lays it down on a table and he begins sort of reciting this incantation and giving a flick. As this happens, you can see a number of runes across the side of the weapon begin to sort of glow in this low pulsating light. And you see Victor's eyes just light up with this blue energy. Interesting. Very interesting. You got yourself one hell of a weapon right there, and he sort of hands it back on.
Alright.
He sort of looks to yourself expectingly and sort of holds out his hand.
Yeah, well, I did ask him how much he would charge before he examined the axe.
For identifying an item, a couple of gold.
Alright, I hand him the gold.
Okay. You
How
hand
much
him on
cash?
over the... Oh, sorry.
How much gold?
2.
Gold, alright. Give 3 gold.
Okay. Says, your generosity is most...
And this is why we never have any money left.
You hand on over the free gold. He says, the Great Axe's name is Ripper. So,
Alright.
it's a +1 magical Great Axe, and it has a rather heinous effect with itself. So, he says that on each hit, an individual needs to make a Constitution save, DC 13. And on a fail, they begin to take bleed damage over time.
Ripper.
Nice.
That's the one.
Damage.
Ripper rips.
What's blade damage, Farm?
The bleed damage is 1d4 with the effect requiring a save end.
Alright, con
So it's
save.
1d4 per turn until they save.
Alright. Nice.
I don't think it stacks though.
No, it doesn't stack. It just but you can prolong it.
That would be broken.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
Just double dot everything, attack everything once.
Attack a dragon and it's like bleeding 10d4. Rivers of blood.
Now, is there anything I can do for you, VMAC? Anything else?
Well, I'm here. What do you actually sell in the shop?
All manner of trinkets and amazing wonders, my friends.
Well, I'm here. I see.
You sort of look around and you can see many sort of trinkets, oddities, and a few sort of other items catch your eye. You see tomes, you see sort of wizard inks, you see reagents, spell pouches, you see sort of all manner of like glowing orbs, staves, and robes. A couple of other bits and pieces catch your eye of what look to be animal parts. So you see like a large heart that's still beating on one of the desks. You see what looks to be sort of a giant scorpion tail, and sort of to a side what looks to be a rat that's undergoing vivisection.
Thanks for
Right.
ruining my appetite.
So it's magical stuff, and I'm not really interested in that. So all right. I do have one final question to him.
I'm all ears.
Because I was walking around town, and I noticed that there are a lot of children's signs. Do you know anything about that?
Horrible business, that. We've had a number of children go missing in the last few months. Dreadful business. Utterly dreadful.
All right. So, do you know, like, who's investigating it? Is it the guards here?
I believe the guards are looking into it, yes, but from what I've heard, nothing of substance has come from their investigation. In fact, I think they've hit last I heard, they hit a dead end.
Ah. So, do you know if any important children have been kidnapped?
None that what's the word? None that I'm aware of, but I think there are a few individuals here and there that have been reporting their children as being missing. The last there was an individual, Bob from Bits and Bob's general stores. I believe he had his son go missing not 2 days ago.
Bits and what was it? Bob from
Bits and Bob's, yes, is the name of the store, and its owner is Bob.
I would run away as well.
Alright. So none children of fancy nobles or anything like that?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Are there actually nobles in the city?
Hmm?
Are there nobles in the city?
Wherever there's coin to be made, you will find noble.
Alright. Alright, well, thank you, Victor.
Most of them belong to the three main clans, so if I were you, I would stay out of their way.
The what clan?
The three main clans. He says, you're new here, aren't you?
Well, I kinda, like, it took me, like, 2 hours to find this shop, so, yes.
There are three main guilds in this town, and they hold much of the purse strings, shall we say. Considerable influence, so I'd recommend not pissing. You're looking at the Ironbrooks, the Oak Shields, and the Wayfarers Guild.
Hang on, you talked way too quick for me to write it out. So the iron something?
Ironbrook,
Yeah.
Oak Shield, and the Wayfarers Guild.
Ah, kurwa.
And what does each of these guild represent?
Most of them are involved in trade. This is the main point in and out of the barony for most exports and imports. You take control of the place. That's a mighty fine amount of coin you've got.
Alright, so as a shop, does that mean you're also part of a guild?
No, I prefer to be an independent establishment, but you will find that most of the shops and organizations around here belong to one of the three.
Ah. Alright. Well, thank you for the information.
My pleasure, good friend. Now, if you don't mind, I'll leave you to seeing your own way out. And with that, he clicks his fingers again and disappears in the pub.
Just out of curiosity, I just pick up an item and just move it a bit, see if he notices.
Nothing seems to happen.
Huh. Yeah, well.
Dead mark.
Alright. I leave the store.
Okay.
And I then proceed to walk towards the guards thingy.
Cool. So, in the meantime, what you guys doing?
I actually have stuff to sell.
Okay. What would you like to sell, Benjamin?
I have fine silks from the merchants' wares,
Yeah.
and I've got a small collection of jewelry that the orcs had.
Okay. So, could I get an investigation check from yourself then?
Yup. Where am I? Where's my board? Seven.
Okay, so you make your way through, and you're able to find a few merchants that are selling various sort of silks and cloths and whatnot. You don't really find anything jewelry wise. That seems to be a bit more difficult to find, and unfortunately, nothing sort of grabs your attention in that regard. So you see sort of various merchants of different sort of flavors. Some seem to be selling like common bolts of thread and sewing supplies and whatnot. Others seem a little bit more regal and selling fine silks to what look to be quite noble individuals.
What quality of silks would I have gotten from the merchants rescue?
Make a I will say make a intelligence check.
Intelligence check. Yeah. That's a 3.
You have no idea. I mean, what does a warforged need silks for? And it all looks the same.
I'll just go to the guy that has the nicest silk. If I get turned down, I at least know.
Sort of, he's finishing off speaking with a couple of nobles who then begin heading on off. And just as he's sort of putting away a few coins, he sort of sees you standing there and says, "Oh, I didn't see you there. Who? And
Hi, my name is Benjamin.
Well, hello there, Benjamin. Do you like what you see? I can see a fine individual such as yourself having a good need for a new set of clothing. Don't you agree?
I show him my body. I have no needs for clothes. Fortunately for you.
You show him your body?
Yeah, I'm made out of metal and wood, so.
Are you sure? A nice sort of a gown would not look fabulous on yourself, don't you? Maybe some blues, or maybe a crimson red.
Ooh. Well, let's get this thing out of the way first. I've got silks of my own that I have here with me, and I'll show myself.
Okay.
And I'm
He
looking
sort of pulls out like a sort of almost like a magnifying glass and sort of looks at the various fabrics and whatnot. And after a short pause, he sort of looks to yourself and gives you a look up and down quickly. These are not bad silks. How did you manage to acquire them, if you don't mind me?
There was an orc camp up on the road, and they had a bunch of merchants hostage. We rescued the merchants, but they didn't do.
As you sort of mentioned this, you see his tone sort of lighten a little bit, and he starts to become a little bit more warmer to yourself. It says, I would be more than glad to take these off your hands if you're willing.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'd have need of them.
Well, how much of this do you have?
I show him all I have.
Okay.
I think it's half a crate.
Okay, so he gives a little look over, and how much, sorry, did you say you have?
I think half a crate that was usable.
Okay, right. And he sort of looks on over and says, well, I think, especially for such a good amount, I could trade for maybe 8 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what it's worth, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, you sort of hand over the crate, and he immediately hands on over the gold, and says, pleasure doing business. If you do happen to come into any more, feel free to come and see me again.
Mm-hmm. Do you perhaps know a place where they pawn off jewelry or buy in jewelry?
He sort of thinks long and hard and says, no place. Don't know where.
Alright, I'll keep on looking, thanks.
Okay.
I spent the rest of my day looking for a jewelry shop that doesn't exist.
Very well. So, how about the rest of you? Anything else that you want to do in the
Yeah, I was heading back to Orif.
Okay. So you make your way back into the town master's residence once. Not much has really changed in, say, the hour or so that you've been gone.
I definitely got scammed.
I head over to her office and I knock on the door.
What in blazes now? Yeah!
I speak Dwarvish. I say, sorry to disturb you so soon. I have questions.
Which point you hear the chair sort of screech down the floor again. Heavy footsteps come to the front door, and she opens the door, looking up at you with a half, are you serious face. Yeah, questions? Okay, what do you want?
I was strolling around town and I managed to notice a place called the Scoundrel's Pipe.
Hey, it's a small little tavern in near to the main square. What?
Yeah, I saw some activity around there. It looks like it seems like it might be harboring a den of criminals and well, yeah, scoundrels, if you may. And I don't really want. I really don't want to intrude on your local law enforcement, since, well, you know.
But it looks like you will anyway, isn't that right?
I headed over here to ask your permission to investigate. Actually, it's better I do that than just barge in.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Yeah, that fared so well last time.
I know, right?
Fuck my life. So, well, at least it's 1 point more than the previous one.
Hey, in 18 more rolls, you'll be getting that crit. She looks to you and says, "No, I think it's fine. We don't need some adventurer gallivanting off, investigating things they may or may not have seen. Leave this to the town guard. I'll send a few of my boys to check it out. Thank you for bringing this for my attention. You can go now."
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I think you've got it all sorted. Just
Bye
wanted to
bye.
let
At
you
which point she just shuts the door on.
know. Well, it seems like a good establishment for keeping the law around here. I mumbled as on my way out.
So, with that, it begins to settle into sort of like the early parts of the evening. You can see the sun setting on the horizon, and the amount of various sort of street lamps begin to be lit to provide ample lighting in the main sort of streetway. Benjamin, you finally, as sort of like the last few stalls are packing up and whatnot, you manage to find what looks to be and it seems to be called the Jade Elephant.
Mm-hmm.
You can see sort of a jeweler behind, seems human, sort of early 40s and whatnot. Just sort of inspecting a few bits and pieces while packing up a few others, and sort of gives you a curious eye as you approach.
Good evening.
And to you, do you like what you see?
I'm afraid I'm not here to purchase. I'm here to sell if you're interested.
Always depends on the quality, of course, but I'm never going to say no to the chance of buying some fancy wares, shall we say?
Hmm.
What you got for me?
I've got a small collection of jewelry that I acquired.
Okay. So he sort of he sort of looks on over a few of the pieces, inspects them quite closely and what. Every now and then he sort of looks up to yourself, giving you a once over. And with that, he says, "Some of these are all right. Some of them are a little worse aware, but you've got a good mix. How much are you willing to sell them for?"
Well, truth be told, I have no idea what value these are. So
He sort of
whatever.
raises his eyebrow as you say that to him. Very well. Well, you brought me them here. I haven't had to do anything. Well, I'll give you a bumper deal. How about we sell all of them? You hand them all over to me. I give you 25 gold.
All right.
He sort of looks taken back a little bit, and he just said, "Well, deal's a deal." It sort of shakes you.
And when he shakes my hand, I inside.
Okay.
Inside. Ooh, 19. Is it a good
Okay.
deal?
You definitely get the feeling it's a good deal for himself. Yeah. He probably under you by quite a margin.
I tightened the grip on the hand doing that.
He sort of looks a bit taken back and says, "It's what are you doing?"
I have no idea what the value of these are, but I can tell you are bullshitting me, and I don't appreciate that.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, that's not my strong point. 15.
Okay, you still nevertheless do a pretty good job, and his voice sort of croaks a little bit, and you can see him getting a little bit flustered with the tight grip that you've got around his hand. He says, we've all got to make a living.
So do I, and I show him the blade.
Yeah. He says, oh, okay, no need for rash action. 35.
Okay, good.
You sort of let go, and he sort of falls back into his chair, sweat pouring from his brow. He sort of counts up a few odd coins into a coin pouch and throws it on over to you, which you quickly check. It is the 35 gold he's agreed to.
All right. Thanks for doing business, and I leave.
He says nothing, but begins counting out the jewelry that you sort of hand on over to him. He sort of shakes his hand a little bit from the pain as you grasp hold of it tightly. So, with that, shall we have a quick drink break? And
Yes.
we'll see what you want to do next.
Mm-hmm.
back to the computer.
No worries.
Ice cream gone. Only the cone left. This bed has a chocolate at the bottom, or else I'm gonna be disappointed.
Welcome back. We were just mentioning about the meetup and board games, so Battlestar Galactica might be a good one to try out, Dean.
Mm-hmm. I played that one.
Mm-hmm.
It went horribly.
Yeah. I can pick that up. I've also got a few others. Exploding Kittens, Bears versus Babies, and I should have Throw for a Burrito by that.
Oh. How is Skip's situation actually for the meetup? On the list, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
from what I understood, he was coming.
It's not on the MFC meetup attendee list.
I didn't hear a thing you said.
He's not on the MFC meetup attendee list.
Yeah.
Not on the list?
Not on the list, sir.
Did you forget
Oh.
about him?
Okay. So, with that, we pick back up. Like I said, it is sort of just approaching the early portions of the evening. Most a few individuals are sort of packing up their wares from the main market, and people are beginning to head on back home or flood into the various taverns that are about town. What would you all like to do? Make another check, please. Much better. Okay. This time around, you think you've got your head on what went wrong last time, and you give it another go, finishing off the rest of the sample that you were given by the elder. This time there's this sweet aroma in the air, and it's very much unlike anything you've experienced before. You give a quick little sip, and there's this very what's the best way to put it? There's this very sort of exotic texture and flavor, very much unlike anything you've tasted before. And you can't quite put your finger on what it is.
Crayons.
It's rainbow color.
Sweet twist of strawberry crayon.
But you sort of give it a sip, and it leaves this very strange aftertaste on your tongue. Not unpleasant, but just different. Okay. The strangest thing that sort of draws your mind is just sort of making your way through, wondering and just reminiscing of that taste sip. Is it doesn't taste flowery at all. So, we're on that. You sort of all meander about and head through the streets and whatnot. What do you all? Are you looking for a place to lay low for the evening? Are you looking for something a bit more adventurous, or what's the general thoughts and feelings?
I'm starting to get hungry.
Okay,
So
you can sort of celebrate your arrival back into civilization. Okay, so you're already aware of the Scoundrel's Pipe that you came across earlier, but as you all sort of make your move around and you sort of find one another on your track, you sort of have a little look around and you get the impression there are three main establishments for inns. You have the Burning Fiddle, you have the Drunken Fox, and you have the Scoundrel's Pipe. Which establishment would you like to go in?
I mean, anything with the word drunken in it is pretty good.
Okay. So the Drunken Fox.
Well, I mean, I kind of know where the fiddle is.
You do know, yeah. You passed where the fiddle was earlier.
So I'm gonna have to do another investigation check to find the
Yeah,
fiddle.
yeah. Can you find your way back to it? Is the question.
Let's
Roll,
find out.
motherfucker.
Roll.
Please. Yep.
All right.
We
No.
can always ask the locals for directions.
See, I saw what you did.
The drunken foxes.
Quincy, it was a 4, and then Quincy changed it to a 1.
Nah, that's not true. It was a 1.
Oh, Quincy.
So with that, VMAC, you begin heading through the various back alleys and whatnot, and yeah, you're not able to sort of find the remainder of the group, unfortunately.
Did I find those children by any chance?
Did you find your what? Sorry.
The children.
Oh no, you didn't find any children. You do come across a couple of what look to be sort of street orphans here and there, sort of just wrestling in a few alcoves for the evening, sort of throwing on a few blankets to keep themselves warm because it's a little bit nippy, especially during this far up north. But other than that, no, you're not able to come across anything.
Can I talk to the orphan?
Yeah, by all means. As you sort of move past, they sort of give you a frightful look and sort of just skulk into the shadows, waiting for you to pass.
Alright, so, kids, I got some questions, and whoever can give me the most answers gets some coins.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Oh, come on. Stop making me do stuff I'm bad at. What is persuasion?
Hey, I didn't build your character.
It's +1.
Despite your large demeanor and somewhat frightening presence, the kids seem to take a bit of a liking to you, and they sort of step on out from the shadows and you give a good look at their faces. It seems to be a brother and sister. The brother seems to be a little bit older, probably somewhere in the region of about 13, 14 years old. The other sibling, however, looks to be a little bit younger, probably more so about 10.
So, what's your name?
Okay. They sort of look to one another, and after a brief pause, the girl speaks up and says her name is ARA, and the boy's name is random name generator. Go. His name is Barrio.
R and Barrio.
Yeah.
Let me guess, the third one starts with a C?
So BEIRO.
Alright, I'm yes, okay. So, hi, well, my name is VMAC. I'm an adventurer, and I've just recently come into this town.
Okay.
So, my question is that I noticed that there are a lot of signs for missing children. Do you know if any of your friends have gone missing lately?
Sort of look to one another, and after a brief pause, they say, "Yeah, a few of our friends have gone missing. It seems to be spread."
Alright, well, who was your friend? When did it
The
happen?
little girl sort of speaks up and says, "My friend Nim went missing a few weeks."
Okay, and do you know what he was doing at the time?
Okay, so with that, there's a brief pause. She sort of skulks back a little bit, frightened. She last I heard, I saw him head into the bakery.
Oh god. Why am I thinking that? Oh god. Okay, which bakery is that?
That would be Beatrice's bakery. I saw him sort of
Beatrice.
clamber on through into the back entrance, trying to find some food, and that was the last we saw of her.
Cheese bakery?
Beatrice's bakery.
Patrice is eating children.
Just out of curiosity, is that the place where Rogue got his stuff from?
Yes.
Right.
All flour, all
We're drinking children flour beer.
no.
This is fucked up, man. Okay.
That sweet taste that you can't pinpoint out, Brooke.
I children. Did you contact anyone about Nim, or did they just
Of
not?
course we did, but no one pays attention to us. Who's going to care about a couple of orphans on the street? We got told we were making stuff up, and if we didn't go away, the guards would throw us in the stockade.
Yeah, but I mean, did you know about the other children that kind of thing?
No, the Nim's the only one that we're aware of. She was our friend. But we have heard some of the others speak about disappearing.
Ah. See. All right. Well, thank you. I think I'll investigate the bakery then.
Do you have any food?
Well, I'm gonna give you guys some coins, and I hand over 10 copper pieces.
Oh, they sort of grab hold of it and.
But I withhold 2 of them, and I'm gonna say is that whoever bring me towards the Fiddle Inn will get the 2 other copper.
Sorry, whoever what?
Whoever will bring me towards the Fiddle Inn.
Okay.
Or actually, if they both take me, that's fine as well.
Okay, they both nod and dutifully sort of head on their way, sort of each grabbing hold of one of your massive hands and leading you on through the
No,
through
David.
the back.
Okay. So they were hungry, right?
Yes.
So as we enter Fiddle,
it takes you a good sort of 5 minutes weaving through certain back alleys, but they're able to bring you to the Burning Fiddle rather.
All right. So I tell the children to wait outside for a bit.
Okay. So the Burning Fiddle is this building here.
Wait, where is it? All right. So I'm here then.
Yeah.
So I asked bartender.
Okay. So as you head on in, you get the sweet sort of smells of various foods that are playing. There seems to be a lively atmosphere inside, and it looks as though there is a trio of 3 halfling bards playing away in one of the. You head on up to the barkeep, who looks to be a rather disgruntled but sort of stoic individual, sort of just clearing up a few glasses behind the bar. Human.
All right. So basically, I ask him if he's got any bit of bits and pieces of food, like for travel.
For travel. So dry rations, that sort of thing you're looking for?
Yeah, so something that maybe something sweet as well.
Sort of looks out back towards the kitchen and says, "We've got a few leftovers and whatnot. Might be able to make some dried nuts, berries, that sort of thing. Should last a good few days on the road."
All right. I ask him how much it is.
He sort of says, "Oh, 3 copper should survive."
All right. I hand him copper.
Okay. He sort of hands over a couple of bags of what looks to be dried nuts, berries, maybe a few sort of jerkies, things like that. It probably is enough to survive for, say, 4 or 5.
All right. I give all that to R and Burial.
Okay. They sort of look up to you with the sort of puppy eyes and say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," and they grab hold of it and begin instantly sort of tucking in, devouring a good portion. Next to no time.
So if I were to find Nim, where would I then be able to find you guys so I can reunite you with him?
So you asked them that?
Yeah.
Okay, they said, well, the Drunken Fox is one of the main places to go. We don't go there often. Children aren't allowed.
All right, but if I were to find you guys at the what was it?
So you are currently at the Burning Fiddle, and the Drunken Fox is where the rest of the party.
All right.
That seems to be the main go-to.
Yeah, but do I know that we agreed?
Probably not.
No, I don't know. So, well, I guess I'm not grouping up then. To the pub.
In the meantime,
okay, so basically, I know where I can find Ario and Barrio when I find him.
Correct. Yeah, they seem to be in some of the back alleys near the Burning Fiddle.
All right, I say my goodbyes and I enter the pub and I buy a room for the night.
Okay, it sets you back 5 copper.
So in total, I spent 18 coppers.
So,
And this
meanwhile,
is money.
the rest of the party, you make your way through and you're able to very quickly find the Drunken Fox, which is situated. Where we got Craftsman, it would be there. So it is situated.
I take a swig.
It almost has a somewhat ashy taste.
It's pretty dry. Smoky. Kind of.
It's not flowery.
It's
narrator voice.
I mean, I don't think I've ever tasted fluid that tastes like ash.
So as you are sort of tasting this, your mind sort of goes back, way back when, before you became civilized, and you get a sort of a sensation that you've tasted before. It almost reminds you of sort of gnawing on bones.
Of what?
Gnawing on bones.
Oh.
But in a more sort of liquid form.
Whoa. That's weird. Do you also like, because it kind of changes a bit, because now it feels more like, do you know the sensation of like chewing or gnawing on like bone pipe? That's what I get.
Okay, I don't know how much experience you have with gnawing on body, but definitely it's you get that sort of taste, maybe a little bit of sort of marrowy goodness somewhere along the lines. It very much has that sort of subtle flavor to it all.
Where the hell did you get the ingredients for this brew? Flour for brewing? Okay, are you sure it was flour though? this feels. I mean, Did she live close to the cemetery?
That's because they use the bodies.
Yeah, this is weird. Like bone flour. Weird.
How else do you grow up big and strong?
Is this? Did you come across a necromancer? Or a witch? A sorceress?
Nothing particularly stood out, but bear in mind you weren't there for that long. You only had sort of a brief introduction.
About that free. Nothing's ever free. I somewhat regret tasting this now.
But does it make you drunk?
Okay, you sort of give it a bit of a taste, and you definitely mixed in a few sort of reagents. It's got a bit of a kick to it, and you could definitely get drunk off of it.
And she can shove us into her oven and make us into bone flour? Sure. Yeah, probably.
Children.
Well, I mean, it's weird, but it still has alcohol in it, so yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dead children, weird, but still has alcohol. That's fine. Yeah. No,
Well,
I
it
know.
could be grown-ups as well. Anyway, yeah. Mind if I take another swig? Yeah, I take a mouthful.
Okay. So.
It's a good thing I'm not there.
With that, you sort of go by your evening. You get some food in. You take some more swigs of ale and wash it all down. You have a fairly easygoing evening, and you finish it all off with a nice sleep. So, a new day approaches. You wake up good and early, ready to set out and do what you need to.
All right, Prime.
Yeah.
So my plan is that I ask for directions where the local guard station is,
Okay.
and I then would like to persuade them to have a guard accompany me as we check out Patrice's bakery.
Okay. So, it's morning. So you're finding a few guys to do what? Sorry.
So I tell them about that I noticed there are children missing,
Oh, right. Yes. I see.
and I tell them that I've got some really good intel indicating that something weird is going on at Patricia's bakery,
I see. Yes.
and I would like an official guard to accompany me as
Okay.
we investigate it.
So you make your way back to the townmaster's residence and whatnot. You make your way through, and there's a few guards there who are sort of just conversing with one another. Give a watchful eye as you begin to approach. What would you like to do?
Hi, my name is VMAC. I'm an adventurer.
They sort of look to one another and look back to you, somewhat confused, and they say, "Oh, okay."
I am in need of your help. I noticed that so as I was walking through the city, I noticed signposts saying that children are missing.
Yes, it's been an incident the past few months. Do you have information for us?
As a matter of fact, I do. And I would like your help in this.
Speak your mind.
Well, I sort of go over the whole that I got lost, met Ari and Barrio, and I talked to them about it, and then I tell them that my hunch is that something weird is going on at Misha's Bakery.
Do you
And,
have evidence of this?
well, I do not. I mean, I got two witnesses that say that something, that their friend got missing at that last place.
Here's what we'll do. We'll send a few guards, go check out this bakery of yours, and see what happens. If you wish to come with, you are more than welcome to do so.
I would like to.
Very well. At which point they sort of give a nod to one another and say, let us head out. At which point they immediately sort of grab hold of their weapons, spears and shield, and they sort of beckon to you to head on with them. So, in the meantime, the rest of the party, what do you decide to do?
Time to call it a day.
Yeah, it's the alcohol. That's what is. Okay.
The lady you spoke to, did she say the reason why you would come back? Like, because it would be an awesome experience, or that you would realize what she was doing and then come back? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what did you decide to do? And is it all of you going, or is it just yourself, Z? How much of an investment do the rest of you have in this?
I mean, not that much, but I don't have anything better to do. I mean, I'm a little curious.
Right.
But I don't expect much of it. I think they're just too drunk. Maybe I'll keep an eye on them so they don't harass this poor lady.
Very well. Okay. So, with that, you set on. VMAC, you will be the one to arrive first. You sort of approach with the free town guard in tow. You make your way sort of to the front door, and there's a small little sign that sort of swings in the open window saying that the establishment is. One of the guards sort of knocks on the door, at which point they open it and head. You're greeted with the smell of sort of fresh bread being baked early in the morning, and sort of hunched over, sort of rolling some dough behind the counter. You can see Patrice. She sort of looks on over and sees you approach. Oh, hello there. Well, there's a town guard here.
I'll let the town guard do the talking.
Okay. The town guard sort of step up and say, sorry to disturb you, man, but we've had some credible reports of the missing children being this place being tied to the disappearance of the missing children around here, and if you don't mind, we'll be searching this establishment. She sort of looks taken back almost, and but nevertheless, she sort of nods and says, "Oh, I'll be my guest. Any help I can be. Please feel free to." The town guard begins sort of rummaging through the ground floor, just sort of looking here and there. They don't really find anything of particular value. They sort of, sorry.
Can I do investigation?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's it.
You also sort of join in the investigation and whatnot, and you don't really find much yourself. You see all manner of sort of utensils for baking. You see what looks to be the main sort of oven that's currently ignited, and various sort of pies and pastries that are midway through being cooked. You can see sort of a few reagents and ingredients here, but nothing really draws your attention per se. After a while, sort of the town guards start to get a little bit frustrated that they're not finding anything. At which point, the remainder of you all approach. Yeah, you can sort of see one of the guards sort of at the main entrance, just sort of keeping an eye on things, and sort of looks onto you all. Smoke sort of bellows out from the chimney of the establishment, and there's a nice aroma in the air of baked bread. As you approach, the town guard just sort of beckons you to halt, and says, "You there? What goes your?" Weird, you say? How so? He looks to you and says, "No, I'm quite fine, thank you. If you don't mind, there is a bit of an investigation going on at the moment, so I'm going to have you to move on for the time being." I'm afraid that's classified town information. Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Got this.
It's very persuasive. So it sort of looks up to you all and says, no, I think you need to be on your way. And as you sort of look on over his shoulder, you can see VMAC and a couple of the town guards basically just sort of looking through the interior of the bakery, just sort of not exactly ransacking the place, but giving it sort of a good and thorough check.
Oh,
VMAC, as you're sort of looking through and really just not finding anything in the bakery, you hear a familiar voice pipe up from outside and see the remainder of your party just basically standing there, almost arguing with the guard.
I walk towards them and I ask Rogue's character what he's doing here. Oh? That's before you so you explain what your suspicions are about the drink, and now you want me to try some. I am going to pass. However, I do tell the guard to let them in to the bakery. I mean, I'm actually not sure if the space allows for this many people in the bakery itself.
Okay. So the establishment is probably, say, 20 by 20 across. So you could all get inside, but it's going to be a little bit of a squeeze.
This is
Fuck
a
it,
fire
everyone gets
hazard.
inside. So, I basically asked Rogue, so this flower you got, do you know where she got it from? Like where she keeps pockets?
Pocket sand.
Okay, so I asked Patricia what he by this what pocket.
So are you having this conversation like just in the main doorway, I presume?
Well, I invite them inside,
Okay.
and then I'm having a conversation with basically Patricia and the guards all listening on it.
Okay. So, as this is all happening, sort of, Patricia's just sort of handling like the baked goods and whatnot, and it seems as though she's very much going about. As you're having this conversation, however, you see all three of the guards around you just sort of their eyes roll back in their head, and they just hit the ground, completely unconscious. You begin to hear them sort of letting out this weaselly, and as you sort of turn around to Patrice, you just see this.
Do you think they're gluten intolerant?
At
See,
which point, oh, sorry.
this is I just say to Z, see, this is what I was talking about.
Have you seen the error of your ways? Okay. She snaps her fingers, and with that, the door slams shut behind you.
I wish I had that axe now.
I shout to Trisha like, "What is this? What have you done?" And more
So she sort of
importantly,
looks
what
to
happened
you,
to Nim?
and you begin to see her shape shift and change. Her skin deepens and darkens in color, turning almost a shade of purple. Her hair
God
becomes
damn
more
it.
frayed and blacker. Standing before you, you see a rather grizzled hag. Right.
Who are you calling a hag?
Your mom.
Oh, oh well.
Okay. So, you sort of have a main door over here, and sort of standing behind a counter is the hag. She sort of kicks her feet onto the ground, and before her, a trap door kind of just opens on. And she sort of looks to you and says, "Would you like to know the secrets of my patient?"
Yes.
You both say simultaneously to one another. With that, I think we're going to get you all to roll for initiative, please.
Hmm.
Oh yes. What will I roll this time?
13.
Anyone get 20 or above? 15 or above? Oh, wow, you guys are off to a great start.
Wait. 16.
Okay. Someone didn't do terrible. This is good to know. 10 or above?
13.
5 or above? VMAC and Benjamin bringing up the rear.
I got 4.
Actually, where's the combat taking place?
In the bakery.
I'm not at the bakery. I'm at the Drunken Fox. Or whatever it's called.
Uh-huh.
You didn't come with us?
No. I said I was gonna make it at night.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you guys had to rest up, and it was from there that they decided to head on out to the...
Alright, then I was there.
Okay.
I thought you guys wanted to go in the evening.
Get to change your story.
Yeah, you had a night's rest.
6.
Big. Okay, Hag is up first.
Massive fireball, entire party wipe.
What is she going to do? 2 seconds. That sounds pretty fun.
Oh.
Don't be fireball, don't be fireball, don't be fireball.
No, it's not fun. Okay, she sort of points her bony thing up towards VMAC in front of her, and she sends out this sickly green mote of arcane energy towards him. Getting a 18 against AC.
Hit.
Okay. So you begin to feel sort of your muscles waste away, and you find your strength being sapped away from you. It was a ray of enfeeblement. So it's save ends, con save, and until you save, your strength-based attacks deal half damage.
Should have made a Dex character.
Okay. And with he sort of clambers away to one of the sides of the room. Okay. Right, Mela.
Yeah. I'm just looking if I have something. What? Shit. Sorry.
It's all right. Take your time.
Found a way. Maybe I should just turn into a bear and maul her.
In this small itty bitty space?
The bear and the bakery.
Well, at least it's not a bull in the china shop.
But will I fit if I turn into a bear?
I'm sure you can try.
No one cares about the inventory anyways.
Okay. That little square is where she is going down.
It's a trapdoor, yeah, but she's basically just cowering to one of the sides of the rooms at the moment. She seems to be fighting against you rather than actively fleeing.
Okay.
But there is a trapdoor that has opened up here, yes.
I want to see. I have the resistance spell, but I didn't write down what it does. If it can help
A resistance spell?
saving throw. Okay.
1d4 and saving
Can
throw.
I use? Yeah. Can I use my cantrip resistance on Sindris? Was it who was hit by the thingy? Yeah. I'll do that.
Sinders gets a d4 next time he throws a saving throw.
Yes.
Okay.
So he'll have a bonus to save.
Very well. You.
Actually, character doing cinders. Making mine freak out.
I will run up to her and I will attack
Okay.
with my regular axe.
Oh, rip.
If we're going to hear this entire fucking pain, I'll buy the damn axe.
Oh,
Nice.
so I'm guessing I rolled for damage.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it?
Oh, wow. 15?
Nice. Okay. She's
Six,
sort
no,
of taken back.
17.
Nice. She's a little bit taken back by the strength of your hit. Okay. Z. Okay. Nice. "13 is a miss. She seems to have almost like a shield of force around her that's making her quite difficult to land. Okay. That's a hit. Okay. "19's a hit. Okay. As sorry, yeah, go on. Okay, as you land your second, to feel this warm, vibrant energy surround her, and she throws it back towards you in the form of a hellish rebuke. You need to make a dex saving throw, please. Okay, you save, so it'll be half damage. Okay, it was 21, so will be 10 fire damage. Benjamin.
Oh yeah, time to stab some people. Can I stab her from here?
You certainly can.
Ah, poker.
Poker, poker, poker.
Yoink. Ooh, I think that hits.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a hit.
Uh, 8 damage.
Okay, nice. Standing your ground?
Yeah, holding shield up.
Okay. VMAC.
So the same as the end of the turn.
Correct.
Alright. I approach.
Okay.
I rage.
Very well.
I attack recklessly.
Okay.
That's like literally all I can do. And I get. I mean, it would be nice if this plus 6. So that would. 18.
18's a hit.
Okay. Good. Fuck.
Big.
And the one is back. So this is 5 damage, but
halved, so that would be 2.
alright.
Okay, do you want to remake your save?
I would like to.
And remember, you can add 1d4 to the save.
Wait, that's wrong die? I think. No, that was. Sorry. What was it? Can't say.
It was. I think it was, but let me check. Ray of Enfeeblement. It is a no. Okay. At the end of each turn, it makes a con saving throw. Yes.
Okay, so then I get +5. So that's 14.
14 is not a save, unfortunately.
What?
Aww.
There goes your resistance.
I mean, Rage doesn't do anything to save, does it?
No.
Only for strength fee.
Yo. Okay, at which point Hags turn once again. So she sees that she is not in the best of places. But she's going her attention's immediately drawn over to you, with the thunderous fury that you hit her with. Well, your crit at least. She sort of points direction, and you see a volley of magical missiles fly towards you. D4. Nice.
Not nice.
Oh. My screen went black.
It's alright.
How many missiles?
That's a good question. That's what I'm looking up. 3 glowing darts. You see all 3 of them sort of impact into your torso, dealing a total of 15 force damage.
Oh. There's no defense against it.
It's magic missile, it's instant hit.
Yeah.
Mela.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I want to do the resistance against it since it doesn't work, apparently. Maybe I should just turn into a wolf. Is there enough space for me to do something there with all of them?
It's quite a few individuals around, but yeah, you could find space. You can sort of move on up a little bit. There's enough space in between him and Ben.
Okay. I am now a wolf. I don't know if you have a token for that.
I should be able to find you one.
Or I can just, remember that I'm a wolf and then.
Okay. Okay. So what would you like to do?
Well, I want to bite, and with pack tactics, I should have advantage.
You do indeed.
Yeah. Waffle. See, roll it twice, and it's +4, so it's 12 against AC.
That's not enough, unfortunately. She just kind of backslaps you away. Do you have multiple attacks at all, or is that the bear?
No, the bear has multiple attacks.
Sad times.
Yeah. Doesn't
You.
seem like I have anything else.
You.
Yes. I will do the same again.
Nice.
And I think I forgot to roll for the crit thing, but whatever. That's not good. 10.
No, not enough, unfortunately. Just grabs hold of your blade as you try and strike down and pushes you back. Z. Okay. It's a little bit crowded, but you managed to sort of weave through all your allies and whatnot. Okay. Very well. Do you want to make an acrobatics check first, please? See how well this goes. Okay, you have a little bit of a space, and like Neo, you sort of just walk up the wall as all this carnage is going across, landing almost sort of behind, ready to strike.
Like Neo.
19's a hit. Okay. At which point she's going to use another hellish rebuke against you. Can you make a dex saving throw, please? Okay, so half damage once more. Or 6. So would be 17, so half, that is going to be 8. 8 fire damage. So, what'd you do from there? Do you lay in more punches, or do you scarf for? Okay. So as you're sort of walking along the walls, you're just laying down these punches lightning fast.
Pop, pop.
That's a miss. Yeah, it seems you're too determined to try and keep your balance as you're walking across, and you're not able to land these hits, unfortunately. Okay, very well. So, Benjamin.
I'm a one-trick pony.
Oh, yeah.
See. Nope. 12.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
No, nope.
VMAC.
I attack
Nice.
recklessly again.
Nice. That's a hit.
Yeah. Okay. Of course.
Nice. And do you want to make the roll?
Yeah, so that's 5 damage total. And the roll, do I get another 1/4 from Lena?
Unfortunately not, no.
So that's
Yeah, it
14.
seems you're just not able to shrug her magic.
Damn it. I'm able to hit, it's just not hitting.
Okay, so he sort of scans the room. I think that this is going to be another magic missile against yourself. You.
All right.
This time a 3, so that would be 9 plus 3, so hitting you for 12 force.
I am bloodied.
Mela.
Okay, I'll try another bite attack.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, that will
that would
definitely
be a hit.
Yeah, see, but not the crit. Okay, so it's 22 against AC, so that should hit. And then 2d4 plus 2, let's see. Wait, that was the d4, that's that one, right? Yeah. Oops, I didn't roll them fast enough. 4 plus 3, and plus 2, 9 damage.
Nice.
If the target is a creature, no.
She's a
It is
creature.
not. it must succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. She's able to sort of resist and push you off, unfortunately. But VMAC, you suddenly feel yourself rejuvenated and revitalized. And it seems that she, with the wolf's attack, the hag's concentration has been broken.
Yes.
Aha! My plan worked. It was my plan all along.
You.
No, just kidding. Okay, and my turn.
Yes, I will. I'll attack again, I think, yeah. So that's a 12.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
Alright, I'll use my bonus action to get a second wind.
A good call.
I feel like it is, yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. So that's plus 12 to my health. And I'll also use my action surge, actually, to attack her once more.
Okay.
How would you like to die today, motherfucker?
That's better. So that's a 21.
That's a hit.
By the way, I still have gold I need to share to you guys, but alright.
Ooh, okay, so 17 again.
Okay, she seems somewhat bloodied. And with that, she's going to use her reaction for another hellish rebuke, this time on yourself. Can you make a dex saving throw, please?
14.
14 is just a save.
Oh.
So it'll be half damage.
Yep.
Okay, so would be 20, so 10 fire damage.
It's a good thing I used my second wind.
Okay, you definitely get the impression she's looking a little flustered at what's going on. It's like she's running out of spell slots, and you guys aren't seeming to be going down too quick. Okay, Z. Okay. Nice. Fancy. Yeah, that's a hit. Big. Okay. Anything else? Benjamin.
Yes.
You smash.
Sad. 21.
That'll be a hit.
There we go. Fucking damage.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Ooh, very nice. Okay.
Taste the lightning.
Oh, yeah. Right, and from that VMAC.
So
New
with
and
the
improved.
power of Ripper and my rejuvenated force. By the way, should we have actually rolled for thingy of silver? No,
Oh, what, sorry?
Well, Ripper's the fact that he has a chance of bloody. Oh, I did work, by the way.
Yeah.
So that is 23.
That's a hit.
Alright, so I'll do that. Plus 6, 13.
Nice.
So what was the Ripper effect actually? Make her bloodied?
It was, I think, if I recall...
On each hit, a DC 30 con save.
Yeah.
Alright, roll con save.
That's a natural 20.
Okay, so this time she'll be fine.
But next time
Next time.
she won't.
On D&D.
Mm-hmm. Okay. With that, she sees she's surrounded. You guys are whittling her down pretty quick. She grabs hold of what looks to be almost like a sickly green gemstone on a string amulet. She grabs hold of it, and you begin to see her form shift and change and disappear in almost like an etherealness, going up like a steam. And before you know it, her form has disappeared entirely of you.
Oh shit.
So, Mela,
Yes. Well, she's disappeared, right?
for the time being,
Can I try to smell her out? Because I have keen hearing and smell since I'm
make a
wolf.
perception
Wolf.
check.
Advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on
Okay.
hearing and smell. And it's +1. Let's see. 17, 18.
Nice. Even with your keen sense of smell, the only thing that you manage to smell is this aroma of freshly baked bread. You don't detect her foul stench anywhere.
Okay. I turn back into my normal form.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I guess she left. Anyone need some healing?
I don't think she left. Maybe we should check out the basement.
There was a hat.
There is a hatch. So you.
I would like to check the guards though. Like, are they still gonna be conscious?
Okay, so each of you has one turn. VMAC, you say you would like to check over.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a medicine check from yourself, please?
Shouldn't
Of
I
course.
use my healing?
If you'd like to.
That I was asking. Which one is it? That one. Right.
Believe it or not, I got 11.
Okay, they're alive but unconscious, and they seem to be affected by some kind of sleep-inducing.
Who was it that said yes when I needed?
Rogue, I think.
Rogue? Okay.
Someone's bloodied.
So you got 9 health.
It's already closed. You and Benjamin, what would you like to do?
I was gonna check the cellar basement
Okay.
hatch thingy.
Yeah, me too.
So you have a little look down, and it seems to be almost like a small, narrow stone staircase that leads downwards. It's pretty dark down there with no sort of immediate sources of light, but I know some of you have.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Prime.
Yes, what's up?
I've got the blood on the thing. I can make like 3 mutagens every day, or one mutagen
Yep.
out of a choice of 3. But I haven't chosen one this morning, so I'll do a random one dice roll.
Okay. Yep. Fine by me.
So 2, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Rapidity. That's the speed.
Nice.
Too bad I had a night vision.
Ah, sad times.
Sad times.
Mm-hmm. And you, what would you like to do?
The hatch.
Okay, so you and Benjamin, you're kind of just looking down at this open hatch at them. Are you going down? Are you staying where you are? Or what would you like to do?
I'll need to light a torch if I go in there.
Yeah, Exactly. I would like to light a torch and see if I can see anything else, because now it's just pitch black, I'm guessing.
Okay. So you light on a torch and you can sort of see your way down. It seems to be like a cellar compartment and whatnot. And what you do make out is it seems to be sort of a series of grinding wheels at the base of this cellar. You also notice a number of additional ovens, but none of them are currently lit. There also seems to be a number of crates here, as well as caskets. And there seems to be almost a strange sort of stench of decay, almost coming from this.
I start opening things.
So, are you going down, Benjamin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take
And
care
what about
with the grinding wheels.
What about yourself, you?
I mean, if I can fit together with Benjamin down
Yeah,
there,
so it's
I'll
basically
go
a
down.
similar sort of size to the place, the ground floor. So you're looking at somewhere along the lines of that to that, somewhere like that.
All
And then
right.
you've got
Yeah.
like a small staircase, probably somewhere like that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start seeing what's inside the crates and the ovens and or the barrels, whatever.
Makes sense. Okay. So, Benjamin, you go down. What about yourself? You
Yeah,
stay.
I'm going down.
Okay, so both of you head on down. VMAC, you're the last person to take their turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I already checked the guards, so they're fine.
Good point.
I'm going downstairs, I guess.
Okay, so you're going down the staircase as well.
Yeah,
Very
I'll
well.
probably be behind them.
Okay.
Behind them first.
So the three of you kind of just making out what you see here. And the first thing that draws your eye, VMAC, as you sort of head on down is there is a child's skull resting on the grind, along with a pile of what looks to be a very greyish white flour-like substance.
Fucking knew it.
And as you make your way down, the hag rematerializes.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Okay. She sort of looks around at you all and says, "Oh, like what you see, do you?"
What the fuck, Prime?
She sees you. She sees the two of you by yourselves. Which one's she gonna go for? Odds is rogue, even is yourself. She goes for you, Mel. She rushes on forward with an almost supernatural speed.
Come on, man. I was gonna loot these barrels and shit.
She races up to you, claws in hand, and tries to strike at you, Mela. This is going to be 2 claw attacks.
Okay.
First one scoring only a 15 against AC.
It's still a hit.
Okay, the other one's higher. Right, so first claw attack. Ooh, ouch. Hitting you for 12 slashing damage.
Okay.
Second claw attack hitting you for a bit less, hitting you for 7 slashing.
I would say I'm bloodied.
Speaking of which, Mela, it's your turn.
Okay, I immediately.
You cut out there for a second.
She wants to turn into her bear form.
Okay.
Bear.
So, right.
Yeah,
So, object kit, animals, and big old bear.
Bear. There. Oh, yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah. You raise her up to her and start pushing her back as she tries to claw at you once more. Okay, what are you doing?
They always do. First,
Mauling her face?
I try to take over the world.
let's see. First, I'm gonna try to bite her.
Okay.
Let's see. 1d20 plus 5.
That would be a hit.
Yeah. Okay. 1d8 plus 4. Down. 10 damage.
Nice.
I bite her hard on her arm.
Okay.
She bleeds.
Nice.
Okay, next attack is the claw attack.
Yep.
10.
That's a miss, unfortunately. She moves out despite you grabbing hold of her.
I make a big noise like "rawr" to try and alert my friends.
Very well. You hear what sounds to be a bear dropping onto the ground and start roaring out from upstairs.
I rush upstairs.
Okay, you sort of push VMAC out the way and shoot on back upstairs.
As I come up and see this hag reappeared, I rush up and I attack her again.
Okay.
Making my way down.
Oh, I trolled over. God damn it.
A little bit flustered, you arrive, but your axe just goes straight into the wall behind. Z. Uh-huh. Yeah. Still a miss, unfortunately. She just grabs hold of your staff as you're taken back by a pretty supernatural strength. Nice. Nice. 18 hits. Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Nice. Uh, 16 is a miss. Right. Benjamin.
I'll rush up the stairs and stab.
Nice.
No.
Good tactic.
Oh, 66% of the time it works every time. Nope, 12.
Rip.
God fucking damn it.
BMAC.
I rush up. I mean, do I got enough space? Like here?
Yeah, there's enough space to sort of wiggle your way around, only
All
just.
right.
But it's cozy.
I take it my rage has ended.
I mean, that's down to you. It was only one turn that she disappeared from.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it up to you. What's
He
yours?
didn't attack one turn, or did get damage one turn.
Yeah, you didn't get attacked. Yeah, that's a good point. So
Okay.
yes, your rage has ended.
Then I rage again.
Nice.
And I reckless. Do I need to recklessly attack, or do you already have advantage?
You're flanking with the bear, so you have
Alright.
advantage.
So I will just normally attack.
Nice.
17.
Just.
Nice. Big damage incoming. I was gonna say if it rolls on the 1 again. That would be 6.
Okay, she seems to be on her last leg.
Do I say that right? Plus. Big. Plus 6. It's sorry, it's 8.
Okay. Very well. So, with that, the hag, She sees things aren't going too well for her, but she's going to try and at least with her. She's going to target you. She fires off another array of magic missiles. And I get so this will be okay. Hitting you for 12 force damage.
I look down into my chest and say, "Ow!" and then I go down.
You go down?
Yeah, I went from 7 HP to 0.
I use my reaction to use Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet.
Okay.
That gives you one less time to attack the hag.
Like
So
instantly or just
yeah,
my turn?
instantly. So you attack her now for once.
Alright, I'll do that. Blood Curse. That's rude. No.
You try your best to sort of reach out and take her down with you, but unfortunately, you're just not able to land her. Mela.
Yep, I do what I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Bite. Let's see. That is 12. Yes,
That's a miss, unfortunately.
Okay. Claw is 21 against 18.
That's a hit.
Yeah. Then it's see, plus 4, 10 damage.
How would you like to do this?
I need her face.
I would like to split her body into more pieces, maybe.
Nice.
Or just, yeah. Or can I do that?
Yeah, you sort of bite down on her face, and with a clean, crisp claw across her center, you just decapitate a split her.
Yay.
You finally hear this last, and she hits the ground dead.
Oh, and I wasn't awake to witness it.
Mm-hmm.
you
Can
a
I
chance.
can I get a death saving throw, please?
Sure. No.
Rip. So, you're out of combat at this point, and you see the guards begin to sort of shift awake, drowsily just sort of pulling themselves up and looking around and asking what.
I probably should medicine check, Jimmy.
I can use Cure Wounds otherwise. Maybe
Either
a
would
level
work.
2 Fire Wound.
I mean, if I medicine check, he would wake up after 1 or 2 hours. But he wakes up immediately if he does Cure Wounds. Yeah. Drag him out of here, back to the inn.
Yeah, I'll do a level 2 Cure Wounds. Because
Okay.
for shits and giggles.
You apply your mystical healing touch.
I took one too many. Damn it, ignore the last one.
So what's the total?
6 plus 6 is 12, and it's plus 3,
Wisdom.
so it's 15.
Oh, so 15?
Yes. We come back with 15 health.
I'm back into the land of the living once more, feeling a little bit worse for wear, but alive. No.
Kitty.
What are you doing?
I accidentally switched place with my roller strip and the table.
Should probably lock those things down.
So you awaken once more. The guards sort of pull themselves up, just sort of dazed and confused at what has transpired.
What? Oh, she went down.
You find the only thing that's left is this withered husk that's almost frail to the touch. Her body is almost ash-like in substance now. Is it the same drink?
I tried to collect some weight of a bounty.
Okay. I will say make a medicine check here, Benjamin. See how you can do with this.
6.
Okay. You try your best to like take maybe a couple of her bony fingers and what. You're able to find one of them, but the rest unfortunately sort of break apart and fall to dust as you try to extract. But you manage to get one intact hag finger.
Can't you just bring out your smartphone and take a picture?
Take a selfie.
Dwarves don't believe in smartphones.
Okay, so you left to your own devices. The town guards sort of look around, and one of them sort of heads downstairs to have a little look at what you found, and are taken aghast by what they find.
I go downstairs and look through the
Okay.
place.
You make your way down, and after sort of looking through all of the crates and kits and whatnot, you find piles upon piles of children's bodies in various states of rot and decay. Some seem fresh, others seem barely anything more than skeletal. Others seem to be sort of, degrading and decaying and what. You find in the ovens various bodies that have been piled in and baked into various pies and pastries. You find skeletal bones amongst like the grinding stones that have been ground down into almost like a floury-like substance that is then being applied into the dough for their products and wares. One of the guards sort of sees this all and throws up to the side, barely containing himself with the stench and the sights before him.
I gave him my water pouch.
Yeah.
Give him some of.
I talked to
Brooks
him.
alcohol.
I asked, "Well, how are you doing there? What's your name, by the way?"
He said, "Okay, in between the huffing and a dry heaving, you were able to sort of get out of him that his name is 2 seconds."
That's a strange name.
I need my name generator. It takes a while to find.
It's his porn handle.
His name is Alia. Alia.
All right. Well, it's a good thing I know it's gruesome, but it's a good thing you've seen this earlier. We need you to report this and file it properly so that it gets registered.
Oh, that we will. Make no mistake about that.
Do you think you could be our witness to us
striking
getting
down that
bounty for this?
monstrosity any day.
Yes, please. Thank you, sir. Thank
That's
you.
the least I can do.
The guard downstairs that puked.
Sorry, what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
that's
I
the
have-
guy we're talking to.
Yeah.
Oh. Do I have some stuff for my hope it doesn't get alchemy supplies that like chewing leaves that helps calm the stomach or something?
Yeah, you definitely get some like sweet-smelling leaves that might take the edge off of the stench.
Chewing leaves.
And they sort of ground up a few little bits and pieces and just stuff them into their nostrils to try and contain the stench. With that, they sort of turn and say, "You best be out of here. Set up a cord, and we'll get the town, not the town guard, but the captain of the guard to take a look at this."
Mm-hmm. That's
Excellent.
So, what do you decide to do?
There's no second floor, right?
No, it's one floor just with a basement level.
What's on the first floor?
So on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a little look through. Can I get an investigation check, please, Benjamin?
She does need to have some place for her money. Yes. 11.
Okay. You have a little look around. You're able to find sort of various apparatus that you would usually find in sort of a bakery and whatnot. The first floor definitely seems very legit, very clean. There isn't anything sort of out of place here. But you are able to find underneath the counter what looks to be a secret compartment underneath. And you hear what sounds to be coins rattling in.
Definitely not trapped. I open it.
Okay. You open it and a dart shoots out at you.
Hey. Is the save or is it prick check?
It is a save. Can you make a con save, please?
Is it poison?
It is. I'm guessing you're not affected by it.
I don't know if I'm immune.
I would imagine you are, but do you want to check quickly?
It's either I'm immune or resistant, but I'll check.
Okay.
Wayfarer's Guide. Oh, I need to open the website where I rip everything off from.
It's delicious and freshly made, and it has almost like a meaty surprise inside.
This item may contain bone.
It's very tender.
Is that a baby finger?
As you sort of finish it off, you sort of bite into the last few pieces, and you have this crunch. And as you sort of fish on through, it seems like a small bone inside that you sort of pull out from you.
No, it's resistance.
It's resistance. Okay, so would be 17 poison damage. Do you want to make the con save, please?
Yep. Nah, probably not.
Okay, so it's still halved at least, so it'll be 8 poison damage you take. You feel this poison just seep into your mechanical parts.
Oh no, not my oil.
Nevertheless, you sort of rip the entire unit off, and you find yourselves in possession of quite a weighty coin pouch. It definitely seems that Patrice did a lot of business about town.
Selling kids, big business.
And
I'll count this later.
okay. So, where do you guys decide to proceed from here? See the town guard sort of rummaging through and just setting up a little bit of a corridor around the bakery itself. The fires are extinguished.
Can demand its residence as a temporary base.
Yeah.
Definitely not a Faust engineer all the time, but
Mm-hmm. So, do you guys want to leave it there, I suppose, and you can pick up what you want to do next time?
Sure.
Want me to divide the money first?
Okay, so you have a little bit of a count through, and you're able to find a good sum here. There seems to be about 18 golds worth of coin.
18?
18 golds.
Alright. Mad counting. Wait.
So how much do we get each?
From this pouch, the silks
you
that are sold. Nah, I divide everything. From this pouch, the silks that are sold and the jewelry are sold, everyone gets an extra 12 gold and 2 silver.
Ooh.
One day we will reach those amounts, we can actually buy something.
I mean, if we all chip in, we could probably buy Jimmy's axe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would love for that to happen.
I wouldn't
Can't deny
mind investing in someone's weaponry.
I mean, I
Yeah.
charge 10% interest today.
that.
But what if we bake you a nice pie?
Children pies are the best pies.
Yes, I mean, it's with most meat. The younger, the better.
Nice and tender.
Mhm. Delicious.
I heard bone broth is actually really healthy.
Yeah.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed it.
Oh, that was.
Oh
really
yeah. I love
That
seeing
was fucked up.
evil
Just
stuff.
saying.
And you're no longer invited to the clan.
I mean, did you and Rogue like talk about it in advance, where you were like, "Oh, Rogue, you really gotta buy some corn or bread
Nope.
from set."
Nope.
Fuck that, man.
And he keeps on fucking drinking. In my culture, this is normal.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just weird. No, me neither.
You are human though. Humanoid.
I wouldn't go around telling the guard that we drank it, even though we knew what it was. But you know,
Did you actually eat pies?
Yeah. Which had some meaty goodness inside.
Did the guards see that?
They were a little too sort of busy trying not to throw up. Wash it all down.
Yeah, you might want to avoid doing those things.